made after my last therapy session, and I have to say, they resonate with me so well. Welcome to a show that introduces you to an exploratory expedition into the fuzzy wuzzy world of the furry fandom. For what it's worth. In this episode, we talk about, well, us. Specifically, how and why we came up with the creatures we call our fursonas. Why choose a dog over a cat or a fox over a wolf? What makes a porpoise have a purpose? Can cats really conduct science beyond if gravity is still working? Or can donkeys and yodis be good entertainers or just be a total wah? Why is there a loaf of gluten free bread on the counter? How come this dog has no ears? All these questions and more in today's hot topic. So grab your Rorschach tests and mood boards as we take a deep dive into our personalities and find out why we made the silly little guys and why they are a good fit for us.
Wow. I was not ready for that, Charlie. That's amazing. God, you're always so good. Well, as he says, we're going to be talking about some fun things today. This was um a listener request topic. But before we get too far into those things, it's been a minute since most of us have been around. I know we had our Halloween episode a couple weeks ago, but it's been a minute since any of us have, really given an update on what's going on in our lives. So let's do that real quick, and I'm gonna make Charlie go first again. Charlie, what's going on in your life right now?
Hello, it's me. I'm Charlie. I'm still somehow allowed to sing with my group Pause and Effect. We just got done so many weeks ago, now that I think about it, at BLFC, and that was our second show. Biggest show, probably, because oh my god, that stage was crazy huge. That's been a total loads of fun and a gaggle of good times. We introduced a lot of new songs like Maz and Paz to the hit tune of AC/DC's TNT. We introduced Backstreet Boys, and we do Everybody, Backstreet's Back, but instead we talk about back pains because we're old. We also have another fun banger, which is REM's I Think It's the End of the World as We Know It, and we changed it into I Think I'm a Furry and I Love It. And it's been pretty heartwarming to hear some of the responses from some people who listened to that song saying how they were like, it was kind of cringe, but like it was our cringe. And I felt kind of ooey gooey inside and enjoyed the fact that this little fandom brought me so many friends and so many things into this life that I didn't honestly think I'd have the experiences for. So it was like, oh, it's gay. I like you too.
Awesome. Well, anything else interesting, or is that just been your entire life lately?
uh, that's probably the only thing of true interest, other than I guess living my best life, still operating trains and planning for a trip later in the summer to go to Disneyland during Pride Night. But that's pretty much it.
Woo!
I know, right?
Disneyland Pride Night. Woo! Sounds so
Disneyland!
much fun.
Go to the gay night and take 3 gays that have never been to Disneyland. So it'll be the best time. That's the hope.
That'll be good.
What about you?
What about me? Oh no. I have been working, I guess. Now, I mean, I haven't been. Well, that's not true. I've been planning fun things because we're going back to Disney at at the end of January, but we're also going on a cruise. We're gonna do a
Ooh.
Disney cruise.
Oh yeah, the
So
treasure, right? Isn't that coming up?
yeah, the treasure on the new ship that just left port a couple weeks ago. So it's on its way to the US from Germany, I think is where they build it. I don't know. They build it somewhere in Europe. So we're doing that next year. Other than that, I mean, we went to BLFC, had a good time. It is definitely smaller than it used to be because it's in the week, but I guess that's a thing now. Other than that, uh just playing games, playing lots of video games, playing Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 16. and Cult of the Lamb and No Man's Sky. I just kind of bounce between them all. And then it's fall and there's so many leaves to rake in my yard. I swear the trees just said, we're going to drop all the leaves at the same time. And it's a pain in my butt. So, regular life things. What about Click? What about you? What have you been up to?
Our neighbor's tree did that.
Yeah.
It was like that one scene in like Harry Potter where the tree just like shakes and all the leaves fall off.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's just like, guys, there was nothing. And then it's just like, poof.
There it is. Yeah. We should probably be raking leaves, but I'm too lazy.
Oh, I got a leaf sweeper. It's like it's not perfect, but I don't care because then I don't have to rake. But what it is, it's you push it like a lawnmower, and it just has little brushes, and it pushes the leaves into a catch, and then you dump them in the trash.
Yeah, we have one that's it's a vacuum and it actually mulches them up and chews them up. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'm still too lazy.
Also, yes.
What have you been playing, Click?
I have been busy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because everybody decided we're going to come out with a new game or an update all at the same time. So Satisfactory came out with 1.0, Factorio came out with the Space Age update. I've been busy.
Nice. That seems to be how it goes. Like it's like you have these months of nothing, and then it's like within a few weeks, it's like game drop, point update, DLC, and I'm like,
Yeah.
That's why I never finished Final Fantasy 16 before, because it came out at the same time as Baldur's Gate.
Right. Well, and Tectonica came out with 1.0 last week or this week. I don't remember. Jesus.
Yeah.
They're all hitting me at the same time.
That's why I'm like, I'm bouncing from game to game, depending on how I feel.
Well, everybody's trying to get their holiday stuff out, so then that way there's stuff for kids to buy for or stuff to buy kids for Christmas.
Right. Well, because I mean, the new farm sim comes out Tuesday, and then the new flight simulator comes out later this month.
Oh, have you looked at, what is it, Space Trucker?
Space Trucker?
Yeah. I'm like, this is a game that Voss and Click would like, I'm pretty sure. Or at least Click.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I played the demo. It's pretty fun, but I haven't. It's set aside because I got to finish Satisfactory, and
yep.
There's no such thing as finishing Factorio, but
you just play it until you have upgraded your stuff to where you want it, and then you're done.
Yeah,
right?
That's not a thing. It never stops.
Oh, well, what about you, Rue? What have you been doing?
Well, I have been playing the new Zelda game.
You mean the Legend of Link?
Yeah, the Legend of Link. I've been playing that game, and I finished that. Then now I've been playing Mario and Luigi Brotherhood. So that's been kind of fun. But besides video games, I went to BLFC. Woo! It was a grand old time. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Ooh, you did, and you laid people too.
I laid so many people.
My shoulders hurt so bad after that.
So, for those that don't know what we're talking about, every single year or every con that I go to, I purchase lays. And I don't know where it's all started. I started doing it a long time ago, and it's just something that I've started doing. And I go to the first day of the con and just go around in fursuit, and I just put Hawaiian lays on everybody that I can see. And usually I have a group of people that I go around with. And this year it was just me and Sammy. And then I bought a lot. And Sammy has also kind of had, fursuit. I mean, you haven't been fursuiting a lot. and so you had some fatigue, and so yeah, we had a lot. And thank goodness, as I was walking back, I saw Charlie, and I was like, Charlie, help me. And so therefore Charlie laid the rest of the con. It was great. It was a grand old time.
It is always fun to do, but the other thing we struggled with is we didn't have a handler, which I think if we did would have made that a little easier.
Well, and I also was wearing some brand new paws, and these paws are not, they're very poofy paws. And so it's much harder to like get the lays off myself and then put it on top of people. So instead I was just like putting my arms out like pick one. But the problem is then you get those little stupid head people. Yeah, I can't say anything worse than that on YouTube. But you get those people that are like, I want this specific color. And then they grab that color from like the bottom and then everything gets tangled up.
Yeah.
Anywho. So I also am planning on going to MFF, which is interesting because I'm going like without anybody from Utah. So I'm just kind of getting on a plane by myself. And this is also the first time that I've ever traveled with my fursuit by myself. So we'll see how this goes. Yay! If you don't find Rue next month, then or after MFF, then I guess you know what happened to him. He got lost. Somebody led me with cookies into a different airplane, and I now live in a different country. And then we had Halloween. Halloween was great. It was fun. But that's what I've been up to. Foss, what have you been up to?
Work. Not too much going on, and then had a fun weekend so far, where I went out and got a new bike, and then was riding it home, and I got about 20 miles, and the bike died.
Oh no.
And so I had to call the dealership back, and then they had to send a van out to go pick it up and bring it back, and now it's in the shop. They're trying to figure out what the crap went wrong.
Oh,
Is it a new bike?
Yeah.
Another electric one?
Yeah.
Ah. Well, that sucks.
Yeah. He went 20 miles and it died, and the thing had 22 miles on it.
Holy shit.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
That's weird.
I'm assuming it was charged and just cut out.
It was, yeah. What they say is because it's got two batteries, a main battery and an auxiliary battery, that I just rode on the auxiliary battery, and then I used up all the juice, and it didn't transfer and go to use the main battery.
Oh, shit. Well, that sounds fun.
So they have a rep from California who's helping them walk through it.
Well, hopefully they get that figured out quickly, or I guess get you a new one.
Yeah, they'll get it figured out.
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad that they're helping you with it. I mean, it's brand new, and to have something all of a sudden just, 20 miles and that's it. I don't even know if I would want that one anymore. Be like, get me something else.
Well, I know why it happened, and it makes sense. So it's just they've got to fix it, and they're going to at no cost to me, and then they're going to deliver it at no cost to me.
Oh,
That's
good.
nice.
That's good.
So
Well,
it's just the time that you have to wait.
Yeah, it was just really annoying because I was ready to get it back here at the house and then get it ready for winter, and then I didn't make it home.
What did you do with your fancy smancy electric one?
That one got traded in.
Ah, gotcha.
he upgraded. Well, he tried to upgrade.
I was going to say, it sounds like it got a downgrade.
There was an attempt made.
Attempts were made. Well, Rue, I'm hungry. Do you have anything to eat?
Oh, I always have cookies.
Well,
Always.
are you gonna are you gonna share the cookies?
Sure, you can eat the cookie, and
Yay!
I get to read the fortune. All right, so this is what the fortune is for today. It says the best way to get rid of an enemy is to make him a friend. In bed with a cookie.
They say keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
Is this just enemies
100%.
with benefits?
I mean, it could, but it's just good to be able to, share your cookies with those around you, especially in bed. There's no wars that can happen or anything like that. You just, give them a cookie. And there you go, and it solves the world's problems 100%.
So what we need to do is just give everybody cookies. Okay.
Yep, everybody.
Well, thank you for that delicious cookie roux. We're gonna.
You're welcome. I'm never gonna share again. So there you go. That was the
Aw.
one and only time.
Well, that's sad. But we are gonna jump right into our topic. For those of you that weren't here at the beginning of the episode, Charlie gave us a lovely introduction, but I'm going to reiterate. So this week we are going to be kind of just talking about ourselves, which I still find very strange. But we were asked to talk about how we as a cast, how each of us ended up with our fursonas, how we chose our fursonas and that kind of thing. So here's how I'm going to start it out, which I know most people who listen to the show already know what we are. I want each of you to tell everybody what your fursona is. And so I'm going to start with Click. What is your fursona? And, just give us a brief overview of your sona.
I'm an identity crisis. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of maybe unique. It's not super common, but I have two main personas. Like I don't have one that's 100% and one that isn't, but I kind of share between the Click Coyote and the K-Dub Mule. They kind of get 50-50.
Sure. I get that. Rue, what's your fursona?
I am an innocent wine red
Lies.
fox. Innocent.
Lies.
Cookie loving
Lies.
fox. 100%. Yeah, and I'm a fox, and how did I choose it, or just what am I?
We're
that's
just
it.
doing the what am I's for now. We'll come back round.
Okay.
Voss, what's your fursona?
Also an identity crisis.
It happens.
Well, I mainly present as a porpoise, but I have multiple characters.
Do you want to share what the other characters are, or shall we
God.
just talk about this?
It's mainly the porpoise. However, I also have my falcon, and then I've got a deer and my old circle that I still occasionally do.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Charlie,
Bonjour.
what's your fursona?
I am a grayscale toon that is a mutt. What kind of dog am I? I wish I could tell you. The only thing I do know for sure is that I have a listening problem and I have a huge mustache.
See, whenever I see yours, I always am like, it always just reads Schnauzer to me.
Schnauzer.
But I think that's also just because of the mustache gives it that schnauzery look.
That kind of scruffy mutt aspects. He's
Yeah.
very like giant schnauzer Irish wolfhound, just big old whatever shaggy
Big
looking
old
dog.
general terrier mix of some kind.
He's a whole giggle gaggle of something. He's a super mutt.
Oh no. Did you do your DNA test and that's what they came back with?
They said, "Yep, that guy's a mutt."
Yep. There you go. And well, I guess I'll tell mine. So my fursona, well,
My
yeah.
persona. Sorry.
I mean, I'm kind of well, I wouldn't say identity crisis, but I do have multiple. My main fursona is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. And I do have another fursona who is a plush platypus, and that's very specific. He is never anything but a plush. And then I've also been playing with a fox fursona as well. So that's more for other things depending on what I'm doing. So here's the next question. And you can answer to this any way you want. How or why did you choose that particular species or animal? Like, was it a particular connection? Was it just something you like about that animal because you're like, I like seeing foxes in the zoo and think they're cool? And, or is there, what was the reasoning behind your individual choices? Anybody want to start, or do I need to name
Crickets.
names?
Crickets.
These are introverts by nature. You must assign duties or they will never speak.
I know, right? I'm like, don't want to like orchestrate this, but I feel like maybe I need to.
It'll work better, I think.
Okay. Well, we're gonna change it up. Rue, why did you choose a fox?
I chose a fox because foxes are cunning and they are tricksters. But, I also really, really like Robin Hood. Robin Hood was really good
Which
back in
this
the
is
day.
Are
I
you
also really
Are
like
you a
Nick.
cunning runt?
I'm not a runt. I may be small, but but yes, I like that in the fact that they're smart, they're cunning, they're quick, and yeah, so that's part of the reason why I picked being a fox. So
Fun fact, Robin Hood just came out this time 2 days ago, 51 years ago.
whoa, that's so cool.
I was gonna say, did not just come out. What are you saying? Yeah,
It just released. Sorry, I'm from the 30s. I don't know anything new.
that's why you're grayscale.
Yeah, I'm always behind.
Charlie,
All
why
right.
did you? How about you?
Me?
No,
Excuse me, as I
but
die.
yes, we're gonna make
Um,
Charlie go. Haha.
All right, let the extrovert have his 20 minutes. Well, let me just crack in here. There we go. And yeah. So, why a mutt? Well, for starters, I grew up really loving a lot of the Disney movies, as most people are probably just of the similar nature. But I was a real big fan of the personality of Dodger and Tramp from Lady and the Tramp, and I love Tramp. I would watch Lady and the Tramp just for that dog because he was just such a handsome man, had a great voice, and I love the style of dog he was. And I have always wanted to be kind of kind of like him because he was just so cool, savoir faire, all that like just delightfulness. And then after Zootopia came out, I decided, you know what, I need to just figure out what the heck I'd look like as a dog. So I chose mixing up Dodger and Tramp and making some sort of dog. But what made it unique about him being a grayscale is that when I had commissioned my friend Crikey Dave to draw him, I had no idea what kind of colors I wanted. I wanted unique color combos, like maybe teal and maroon, or green and purple, or some sort of really fun, vibrant colors. But I didn't know at the time, so I just said, just leave it as a sketch, and we'll just leave it gray for now. And then, ta-da, that's the unique colors. And it makes sense because I'm a personality that loves antiques, old stuff, the oldies, at least the good parts of it, and enjoys a lot of just more. I really enjoy more of the Tex Avery old school style cartoons, the older times animations, because they're just so much more fascinating. I just can get dwelled right into them. And so having a dog that wears pretty much my favorite hat, the straw boater, all the time, which if you didn't know, that's the hat he's supposed to be wearing, but no one wants to draw the texture for the straw for, detailed. That's too much. Wears that, has a big mustache just like I do, and he's a little scruffy just like me, and he's a mutt just like me, because I'd have a giggle and gaggle of all kinds of ethnicities from British, Spain to Hawaii. So I'm all over.
So Charlie's just an old man in a young man body.
It's what my mom says, and I believe it.
And I believe.
Speaking of old mans, click.
Wow. No. No.
No.
Hey, if I'm the runt, you're the old man.
No. Yeah, I guess. Definitely not an old man in an old man's body, though.
I just
Aw.
am an old man.
So, as far as actual persona, because as was mentioned in chat, there is a difference between personas and OCs.
Mm.
But that's why, the coyote and the mule kind of split for my main personas. They're not necessarily OCs because they are personas. But so for the coyote, when I started into this nonsense, I think a lot of people, when they first find furry, you start with the popular stuff, right? You start with, I'm going to be a wolf or I'm going to be a dragon, right?
Mhm.
Because that's what normal people know. That's the popular thing, right?
Yeah, it's what's most known in the animals in society, what we see in the zoos, what we see
Right.
around.
Unless you go, you could be like a lion, but
A tiger?
you generally wolves and you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna say everybody, obviously, but I think before people actually find a persona, they kind of go with dragon or wolf.
Of course, you've got your starter Pokemon.
Right. Yeah. So
Yep.
Yeah.
and growing up, I've always loved wolves, and I had a weird connection, I think, with them. But when I actually got into furry and started trying to figure out a persona for me, a wolf just didn't fit. Not quite. It was close, but not quite. I I'm too. I don't think I'm serious enough to be a wolf, to be honest.
True.
So the whole prankster thing, and then part of Native American legend is coyotes are the tricksters. So it just kind of fit better, and that's kind of where I went with it. Ended up being a coyote. Made my as I've told the story, dove in head first. I don't do anything half ass. Haha.
You're only sometimes a half-ass.
We'll get to that. But yeah, found figured out coyote fit. It fit personality wise. And it just fit. So I made my first fursuit. That was a coyote, and I still have it. It's atrocious, but it's mine. And the coyote stuck for about 6 years, I think. So the mule, that came around in a unique situation. So I commissioned a fursuit for Click, and never got it. 3 years I never got it.
Ooh.
So K-Dub was put up as an auction suit. So I figured I contacted him and made a deal and said, hey, you give me this auction suit for this much money and we'll call it good.
Is it so? It was the same maker.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I got K-Dub, and that's how I ended up with a mule Fursona, but that's kind of a weird situation where it started with a fursuit and then it developed into a Fursona. But that fits the other side of my personality, right? Because the trickster side fits the coyote, but I'm also stubborn as a fucking brick wall.
You're stubborn as a mule.
So
Hey!
the mule works.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
and
how.
I think the other thing I noticed, at least in my mind, when you first got K-Dub, was the coloring scheme was kind of in line with Click's design.
Right. Yeah, they kind of match.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
Yeah, nothing super wild. And that's kind of the thing is, I didn't want a Fursona that's super flashy or, sparkle doggy, which I love them. They're fantastic. I love the rainbow colored Fursonas. But it just wasn't me.
sure.
So we have some comments in here that I'm gonna read a couple things. Looks like that we have one comment that coyotes are just sand foxes. What do you want to say to that?
Sand foxes.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
don't know about that.
dragons basic? What we see in normal society.
I could argue
I don't know if
on the
I'd call
side of
them
that.
basic because like I said, it's normal for people brand new into furry to pick that kind of stuff because they're popular outside of furry, right? Well, you can find T-shirts with dragons and wolves on it every day of the week, right? Go try to find one with a coyote on it or a corgi, or you know what I mean. Foxes are a little more common, but still, you can find dragon and wolf T-shirts every day.
Yep. Yeah, like who? Okay, maybe not the younger generation, but who didn't grow up with a 3 Wolf Moon shirt?
I still have mine.
So
I didn't have the moon one. I had one that was really cool. It had like trees in. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of Bev Doolittle?
Sounds familiar.
Bev
I don't know.
Doolittle is an artist, and they do paintings. One of them that I remember is it's a picture of aspen trees, right? It just looks like aspen trees, but if you look close, and it's kind of like one of those mind eye trick posters. The dots and stuff in the aspens are horses running, right?
Huh.
So I had a T-shirt that was just trees. It looked like just trees, but if you look closely, there was wolf faces in the wood. So I didn't have the 3 Wolf Moon shirt, but I had plenty of wolf shirts.
Wolves in the trees,
Yeah.
wolves in the forest. See, and even the chat's all like, "Oh my god, 3 Wolf shirt!" Ah. Right. Well, that's fun. I love those. Yeah, that's why it's like dragons and wolves and like all of those things are things you see normally, like in fantasy and science, in regular media. So that's why it's like, no, I can understand it being like a more basic kind
Right.
of idea.
Well, and
I
if it
mean,
if it works for you, stick with it. But
yeah.
it just didn't fit.
Well, when I was originally creating my Fursona, I almost went with a dragon. I had ideas of a dragon design. So I almost went with a dragon. I ended up going with a dog, but it's weird because normally I feel like normally people start with like especially if they do dog fursonas or canine fursonas. They're like start as a single thing and then maybe hybridize it a little bit. Where I went the opposite direction. So I started my fursona when I started. It was supposed to be a mutt of a corgi, German Shepherd, and Labrador. That was the mix. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I feel like all of these breeds work for me. And then as time went on, I kind of dropped the other two. And so it just became the corgi. So the corgi, I chose the corgi specifically the Pembroke corgi. I always loved them as a dog breed.
Corgi.
Those who don't know,
Ironic, you're a bread loaf, but you can't
Yeah.
eat bread.
I'm a bread. I know I'm a loaf of bread, and I can't eat myself, and it's annoying because I can't have gluten. Wee. But I
Corgi,
always loved the
can I
breed.
ask who docked your tail? Who
Who
did that to you?
I don't know.
Have
I
you ever
think it's just-
seen a corgi with a long tail?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have, actually. It's
it's-
really not right.
It's it's a little weird. Well, here's the thing. Now I'm gonna go off a little bit because there's two types of corgis.
there they go.
I didn't mean to.
There's two types of corgis. There's the Pembroke corgi, which is what everybody associates with the Queen's corgis, because that's what they were. And then there's the Cardigan corgi, which look more like a short Australian Shepherd, like they typically have like the blue merle. And those ones are what you always see with tails. They were the ones that never had docked tails. But the other ones, the Pembroke corgis, which are the brown, tan, black, have always had docked tails because they were bred for herding cattle. So they docked the tail so they wouldn't get stepped on when they were running between the big animal's legs. So there you go.
Why shepherds usually have them too.
Yeah.
And corgis are also known to have short person energy.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Yes.
They're tiny.
We have short person energy and we are stubborn as fuck.
Well, so
Mm.
there's a difference though, right? Because there's short person, because corgis actually have a personality. So it's like short person personality, but it's different than like a Chihuahua that has short person syndrome.
Yeah.
Because like in my experience, a corgi doesn't think it can fight everything. They're a lot more happy-go-lucky.
They kind of know most of the time what they're capable of.
Right.
Though some of them are also just special. I mean, mine likes to yell
Stop
at
it.
me when I don't play with
Get some
her,
help.
but that's beside the point. So yeah,
He likes to burf at you.
she likes to burf at me. But yeah, so the corgi just fit real well. It works. It's one of those where it's just not all the personality traits, but most of the personality traits kind of go in line. And then with Puck, with my platypus, that came off the idea of, I think I really liked plush suits. I was like, I really want a plush suit. And he was like, well, I could just get Sammy as a plush suit, but it'd be cool to have something else as a plush suit. And then I sitting there thinking about it, and I went, what don't you see a lot of? What animals do you not see a lot in the fandom? And I went, you know what would be cool? A platypus.
Dun-dun. A platypus?
You don't see any platypi?
Yeah, now that I have a platypus character, there are a few other platypus out there that I've met but still, that's like a handful of people. So his whole thing kind of came out of a artistic freedom or artistic liberty suit design. So basically, the suit maker and I, we chatted, and I was like, well, here's what I want. I want natural colors. I want him plush, and that was kind of it. And then we kind of made his design together. And then he has, over the years, kind of built a personality. And he is what I wish sometimes I could be, the more chill, just take it easy kind of side. He's, Puck in my brain is more of that relaxed, a little more happy-go-lucky, just kind of happy to just kind of hang out and be. And so he's kind of the opposite of where I normally am, a little bit more, I don't want to say I'm an A personality, but sometimes I get a little wound up.
Like now.
Yes. Oh, this isn't even bad. You know that. This is fine.
Even the chat was like, rant incoming, rant incoming.
Oh.
Speaking of which, I don't know. I was just going to say, like, this is your car that you drive. I just threw that in. That's the corgi size car there.
I love that it's a corgi brand toy.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah.
I didn't know they did Mini Coopers. I might need to find one to buy one.
See, I told you this is corgi's
I fucking
car.
love Mini Coopers, okay? I want an old style Rally Cooper. Hey, Voss. Hey, Voss. Hey,
What?
Voss.
What?
How did you choose your fursona?
Oh God, that's
Why are you a
long story.
porpoise with a purpose?
That's a long story. So get
Well,
back.
here we go.
Get
Hold
the
on, let me get my blankie.
popcorn.
Let me get my blankie. Hold on.
All right, hurry up. Did you
All
get
right, all right.
popcorn too?
By the way, if you say that foxes are terrible, I will be sad and I will be in my room eating cookies all night long.
all night long.
You
All right,
mean
now-
like every night?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Foxes are
pretty much.
terrible.
True.
All right. So it all started when I was a basic fox.
When I was a
So
young fox
basic.
boy.
When
He was too.
was
That's
a
when we
young
started going
fox
out.
boy.
I was, and it's been a long process to find my Sona to what fit me best. I started out as a fox because I liked the sneaky and sly, and I felt that go with me when I was always trying to be a little manipulative and have fun with it and play around. But
Fell in
The
love with the fox
fandom-
boy on the internet.
the
Oh,
fandom
boy.
has
Click is basic.
Sorry.
I love that song.
The fandom has a certain perception of foxes, and no matter what you do or try, that won't go away. And after a large number of unwanted touchings, let's put it that way, I no longer wanted to be a fox anymore.
It wasn't me.
You
Those
know,
were wanted.
I've never had unwanted touches. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
Well, that's because you play right into the stereotype because you're basic. I mean, I love you.
Ah!
I think, does anybody know the number for 911?
Do you want me to get you some ice for that burn?
A sick burn.
Sick burn?
And
I'm
then-
gonna call the Wamblians.
And then after that, I had to make a decision, and I was doing a toss up between a Sergal and a Porpoise, and I just kind of moseyed my way into the Sergal more, and so I went with that. And then it turns out, after a bit, that the Sergal community is so beyond toxic, it was unredeemable and horrible to be there.
Oof.
So bailed there, and then I just went with the Porpoise, and then it actually fit a whole hell of a lot better than I ever thought it would. personality-wise, matching with what porpoises are. And I mean my actual species, they don't have huge pods. It's only a couple. They don't interact with a lot of people. And they're very isolated and self-dependent in that way, which I felt with. And then I loved water. And then the biggest thing that kind of made me feel a little more comfortable in there is because my body is absolutely fucked in real life.
Aww.
Because I was born with webbed hands and toes. So I'm great at swimming. I love swimming.
So
And I
good
just
at
felt a
swimming.
connection there.
Yeah. Well, there you
That's
go.
cool.
Huh. I
Well-
guess thinking about it, because it's like your hands are webbed, and then, like, in my brain I went, what?
Yeah,
Thing
you
is,
know,
like,
either,
I've,
like,
ne-
you don't
I've
notice.
never really
chronically on
noticed,
mine?
I guess.
That if
Not-
anybody asks, I always say that I got these scars on my hands because I was saving babies from a burning building.
Aw.
It's true. What are they gonna do? Question mark?
Saving babies. What a loser.
Right?
Okay. Well, we don't have Nuka here. But I'm gonna try and channel him a little bit.
All right, he fell into a vat of liquid cat.
There you go.
It came out
Oh, no.
blue.
Yes. Well, science, right? Maybe something happened in the lab. I don't know.
Somebody was eating a very large bowl of blueberry cereal,
Blueberry.
and Nuka just could not resist.
Nope. And there you go. Now he's a blue cat. So I pulled up. I've got their book that the First Science folks put out last year, and in the Fursonas chapter, they have a table, percentage of responses of why people choose specific Fursonas. The highest one, of course, being it represents them. It's an expression of them. And that's at 49.4%. So that is a lot of the reason why people choose the Fursonas they do. Next down, they have it's an avatar, mascot, or online persona, which is also fair. And that's at 21.7. And then under that is an idealized version of me, which is at 21.2. So those are pretty close. Then the fourth on that list, which I find interesting, is a way to interact or connect with the fandom. Which I feel that's how most Fursonas probably
Isn't that what a
start.
fursona basically is?
Yeah. I'm assuming these are they're basing these off of what people like specifically wrote. But I'm like, I feel like most of us get our Fursonas as being like, I want to be part of this fandom, and then it becomes your identity in a way. And then they've got a focus for creativity, fantasy, or art. And then there's also a real or authentic me, a different self or an alter ego, a means of coping or self-improvement, and allows me to be something I can't or shouldn't be. So that's what they've got in their research from the last 10 years, which I think is interesting. And of course, the representation being the highest of everything, and even for all the other ones, it's the highest, they're small percentages. But yeah, so that was from about 1,700 furries. They got those numbers from. So I thought that was interesting. And then I do want to let's talk about one more thing before we throw to break. And that is designing your Fursona. I know Charlie talked about it a little bit on how he ended up on being a grayscale mutt because he couldn't decide on colors. So, but I want to talk about, how did we decide our designs? How did we choose, like, why are you red?
I am red because what happened to me a long, long time ago when I
In
was
a
a
galaxy
child,
far away.
I
His
used to
metachlorians are off the
love
scale.
the color red. I loved it. I used to wear everything red, 100%. And then my sister said and made fun of me for it. And
You made fun of you for liking the color red.
yeah.
What a bitch!
And so I was that?
Nothing.
What? Nothing.
Wait, what did you say? I didn't hear it.
Keep going.
I'm not gonna continue.
Keep
Anyways, so yeah, I had read everything and they made fun of me. And so I decided, well, I am just going to, change everything. And then I liked the color blue and just kind of kept with that. And so, but then I don't know, like as you grow older and different things like that, I remember that. And I still really liked the color red. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, but I don't like the bright color red. I like the darker color red.
You
So,
don't like my red?
it's a color.
It's fine.
It's a color.
Yeah,
It'll
it's fine.
do.
It's
I
adequate.
guess.
But then I also got I found this person that I really liked, and I really liked their design. So I did have some inspiration from that particular design. I won't go into too many details, but there's been some little tiny things that have changed with my markings over the years. And in fact, what's interesting is I have a new change with my marking.
Ooh.
I know it's not going to be that. Thank you for helping me make it like so amazing, but it's not. Um, my toes are going to be white now with black, which in some of my drawings I've had that, or in some of my commissions I've had that, and some of them I haven't. And the reason why is because originally Rue always was supposed to have white toes that matched his hands, but what ended up happening is I had a fursuit, and if you guys know anything about white paws with your fursuit, it's not the greatest. So you have to do a lot of maintenance with them, but with the black fur you don't have to do as much maintenance with it. So that's why I had black toes. So yeah, that's how I've kind of changed some of my coloring and some things over the years. I don't know why I have green eyes. I really don't. It's not because it's my favorite color. It's just I think it looks better. My favorite color would be for eyes would be actually blue. So you would think that I would have blue eyes, but it just looks better with the green eyes. So or I look better with green eyes. But yeah, so I mean things change over time. For the longest time I've just, had the front of Rue all picked out because Rue always had a cape on. And the reason why Rue had a cape on is because I never could figure out my markings on my back. And so I've never been 100% happy with my markings on the back. So maybe eventually, that will change too, but we'll see. So it's kind of a never-ending kind of project as you're, updating things, changing, tweaking things here and there, but there you go. There's my long-winded rant.
Perfect. Click, so we know K-Dub kind of came as he was, so those markings were basically set, but how did you choose for your Yote?
Colors?
Yeah. How did you design him?
I said I want a persona that looks like a coyote.
and gave him orange hair.
Yeah, the orange hair definitely came later.
Yeah.
But that was, like I said, I didn't want anything super fancy, really bright. I just wanted natural colors, natural patterns. Things kind of progressed eventually because, kind of like Rouge Red, orange has always been my thing. So I had to put orange somewhere. So he just ended up with orange hair. And so did K-Dub, I think. I don't remember.
I think K-Dub has orange hair. I think that's part of why I was like, oh look, it's Mule Click, because I was like, oh, it's very similar. Pretty sure he has orange hair. Anyway,
It's more of a burnt brown.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like a burnt orange.
But
Well,
yeah, I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted natural colors. A basic pattern, but nothing super fancy. My Fursona now on the back has a black and orange gear outline that I don't think this model has it, or I would show you. Does it?
Yeah, it
I wonder
do.
if I can.
zoom out and spin.
You have to spin your butt around and then change the camera lighting a bit.
Yeah. I gotta figure out which way to do this.
Well, there's your
How
back.
do?
There it is.
Hey.
So, yeah, we added that, because of the whole mechanic thing. But
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
that falls very much
that
into your
quirky little
trade
thing.
and a lot of. Oh no, he's in the dark.
now I'm dark and brooding. Ha!
Halloween's
Oh.
over. That episode's over.
Unless.
Aw. It's never over. But yeah, I kind of did the same where I like the more natural colors. Even early on in the design, I always had the kind of natural corgi German Shepherd, you know, tricolor with the brown and the white and the black. So that stayed over. The colors for, so I had the red. The red was always something, because same with Rue, where red is my favorite color. Instead of going, I'm making all of me red, I just decided to do accents, which, as you see, I did the hair and the ear tips and things like that.
Oh my gosh,
And-
it's such a battle. Every video game, you two have to fist fight between who gets the red thing.
Yeah, it's the same when we play board games. If there's
It's
a
very
red one,
true.
The red one.
yeah,
I want the red one.
yeah. There's times where it's like, I got here first, I get the red. Yeah.
But then what I usually do is I usually go for black or white after that.
Yeah. Yeah, but we do. We're like, but I think that's also where people are like, you guys are basically twins, because we're just, we like the same color schemes for things. But yeah, and then a lot of the way, like, the markings for Sammy are actually kind of, so I looked at my old corgi, who I no longer haven't had for many years. I looked at him and I went, what's your face markings look like? What are you looking like? And so I based actually a lot of them off of him, and then just kind of modified them how I wanted. The biggest thing that I feel, which I find is funny because a lot of artists tend to struggle with it, is the white on my face doesn't match all the way down onto my chin. The chin is more or less like a little white patch, and a lot of artists are like, "Oh, that's all white," and we'll do my whole muzzle white, and I'm like, "No, it's not all white. Just a little bit." You know, it's mostly natural with some accents. And Puck, he's like I said, that was a lot of between me and the suit maker. And I was just like, oh, just do natural platypus colors. So that's why he's brown. And then the suit maker came forward and he's like, well, he's a plushie. Why don't we do he had this plaid wool, this gray plaid wool fabric, and he's like, can we do this for his bill and like his hands and stuff? And I was like, oh my god, yes, that's amazing. So that's where the plaid came from for him. So he's a plaid plush platypus. So, but Voss, what about yours? I know there's always been a lot of purple in your Fursona designs.
Yeah, yeah. Like you guys have a favorite color, I do too, and it's the deep royal
What?
purples. I love purple. It's the best color. And I've started it with my first Sona. I wanted more natural colors, but I liked purple, so I wanted to give as much extra as I could as accents. So I made lines. I did tail tip, muzzle markings, eyes, tongue, all that. Purple. And then just kind of as I've changed Sonas, I've just kept that theming where everything has purple accents all through it, and every single character, and even me, I got purple eyes, but you can't really see it on my character here very well. But I've got purple right here on my head, and I've got it on my chest, and then on my back and fins, and I got purple all over.
Turn around. You got this.
Purple. I can't.
I
do
believe.
It this quick.
Clicks like, haha, I got this.
As the stream dies.
I got things I gotta pay attention to. I can't just be flipping and zipping and doing and dolling.
You can't just be flopping all over the place. Aw.
I leave that to cartoon dogs.
Hey, we just get to do whatever we want, right?
I love doing whatever I want.
Speaking of cartoon dogs, what about you, Char?
Oh no, it's my turn. So
It is your turn, Char.
we talk about how we made the designs, how we came up with it. Well, if we look at the diagram here, which is just a picture of Charlie pulled up by any resources you can find, you'll notice that he has some very signature features. He's got a big gray puffy chest. I always love shaggy chest.
We can do that here.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh,
you're so big.
I'm so big. I love being big. That's my life. That's just me, baby.
It really is.
Oh, look at him. He's so handsome. God, he's so cute. Look at him talk.
Nom. Sorry.
He's gonna eat Click.
He's very, no, he's whispering the secret codes.
Oh, he's whispering the sweet nothings.
It's a very big whisper.
Click has the wrong ear up, so he's not listening very well, like an old man would. But no, if you notice,
be careful. He might be trying to take your stash. So you know.
He has
This
tried
old
once
man beat you
before.
down, boy.
No. I'm a toon. I can always bounce back. But if you have noticed that he has some distinct features, he has a gray fluffy chest, because I always think shaggy chest is really cute on character designs. When I was in my Tumblr days of just stalking the furry fandom, not quite in there, and I was always like, that's a cool feature. I like that. He also has gray hands, but not gray feet. The reason for it is that whenever you see like animals, like for example, a black cat with white paws, you think, oh, they're wearing socks or they're wearing mittens. And so, like a toon, he's wearing gray gloves. That's why he has gray hands and not gray feet. He's got a mustache, because I have a big fat mustache too. It's terrible, but my dentist says that my flossing is great, but only on the top teeth. So need to work on the bottom. The ears come off his hat because I saw a Felix the Cat cartoon that featured him trying to do a side hustle as like a a street performer, and he was trying to ask for money, but he didn't have a hat, so he just took off the literal top of his head where his ears were and started hanging that out like a bowl and just asking for money. And there's just a hole where those were. And then he just put it back on like a cartoon. I was like, that's funny. I like that. And so then also just keeping him with the grayscale, I asked for classic pie eyes or Pac-Man eyes, however you want to describe them, and just kept him like that. And then he's got shaggy hair just like me because I'm a curly mess. And he's got kind of the tramp color scheme. He has more Dodger in his schnoz because he's got a big old schnoz when people draw it right. But most people draw him as a Pomeranian, so I have to tell them, no, please make the schnoz bigger. It cannot be small schnoz. It needs to be good schnoz.
He needs a big boopable schnoz.
Exactly. He needs a big old schnoz. That's how else he gonna hold up that mustache. Thing's gonna break his schnoz if it's too big and his schnoz is too little. And that's kind of where I went with there. And I tried to make it really simple. I didn't want too many designs. As the saying goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. No, that's not the right phrase. Less is more. And so more is, in the words of Weird Al, tacky. And so we cannot have too much. So I wanted to keep it simple, nice, easy to follow, easy to read. And also, when I commission artists, I can just ask for a sketch instead of a full color, and I get a full color every time.
Oh my god.
That's big brain, baby. That's big brain. That's called being eco-friendly. So for all you kids out there on a budget, make grayscale kids and join me in the grayscale army.
It took me a second, and then I was like, oh, right, because it's. I hate you. Now, do they charge you like it's a color version or no?
No, I just say I'm asking for a sketch, but because he has sketch colors, he's always full color. He's always a full
Nice.
color, baby. He's always full color.
All right. Well, I think now, I don't know about you guys, but, I could do with a little bit of a break.
I want a break. I need to refill my cookies that I.
Rue needs more cookies, and so what we'll do is we're just going to take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll be back, and we'll talk about some more, and we may have an audio file that we will be playing from some of our listeners. And so just hang on, and we'll be back in just a little bit.
Give me a break.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Belly of Tea. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down. Oh, blow me, bully boys, blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed, and the captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Baby, we are always shining bright. Take me home tonight. Take me home tonight. Just wanna show you. Just wanna show you what you like. Me feel alright. Make me feel we are always shining. We are always shining bright.
And we're back.
We're
Thank
back.
you for letting us take that little bit of a break. I needed noms and to potty.
I had cookies and water. Yay!
Well, we are gonna start off this half of the show with our lovely Patreon read. Charlie, well, Voss, can you cue the music so Charlie can
No,
read
no, please no.
for us?
No. Please no.
No, the music is very important.
It's time for the Patreon read, and everyone's a Girl Scout by a cookie.
I don't want it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
We would like to thank our fabulous Patreon donators this fine evening. We're here to thank Barnaby Panda, Blue Duck, Nuka, Basel the Dragon, Black Baldrik, Ichigo Ookami, Lufis the Raccoon, MephistophEli, or Eli for short, Plug, Tenax Raccoon, Chaphogriff, Lygris, Ausi K, Christian, Citrus Fox, Icy Solid, Sage Lightfang, Tire 52, and Victor Mutt, and most specially, Unfollow Blue Dino.
Lovely. Thank
Oh.
you so much for reading that, Charlie.
Am I safe now?
You for your donations.
No!
All right, time to get the
Keep going, keep
No!
I'm gonna sing 'em.
No!
All right.
All right. Well, I guess
One day you
We'll-
guys will vanquish me with that song.
Just one day.
one day
Give
soon.
it up for one day without Rue. Yeah.
But- As always, thank you to our patrons for your continued support.
It helps us buy things like
it helps us so much.
hosting
and
fees.
It helps us keep everything going and the site going and the episodes up and being posted. So we really couldn't do what we're doing without all of your help. So as always, thank you. And with that, we are gonna jump back into our topic, but we did get a audio file from a couple of our listeners talking about how they chose their fursonas and how they came to the decisions they did. Can we play that, Voss? That would be lovely.
Hello, you wonderful people. I am MephistophEli,
And I am Sage Lightfang.
and we're here to contribute to the episode by way of explaining why we chose what we chose as our personas. Do you want to start or should I start?
You start.
You're going to make me do this?
You start.
Fine. Volunteer me. Why don't you voluntelling me?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Anyway, I chose a bunny and a rabbit. They're both the same creature. People may just disagree on that, but I chose a rabbit because they're adorable and fluffy and cute, and they have big, adorable ears.
They're prey.
Shut up. But also because they're usually quiet little guys, quiet and out of the way, doing their own little thing, doing little bunny things, like multiplying. But I also chose a rabbit because personally I like to listen more than I do talk. That's usually because I want to get the context of a conversation before I contribute to it. One of the other more superficial reasons was because growing up my chosen idol of worship was Bugs Bunny, because he's amazing. And we haven't seen a whole lot of him in recent years, have we? Kind of weird. But other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot more deeper meaning to me. I'm as two-dimensional as a piece of paper.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I are.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I are.
Stop it.
But enough about me. I'm not that important.
Yes,
Let's
you
go
are.
to the shut up. Let's go to the person with an actual pair of chesticles in the room.
And now people are going to see me as just the pair of chesticles. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome. So why did you choose what you chose?
Okay, for me, as many people know in VR, I am a changeling or shapeshifter. The reason I chose my shapeshifter Fursona is because growing up in the past, my youth, I always had to change who I was constantly. Around family, I had to be one person. Around friends, I had to be another. And if I behaved one way or another, people wouldn't accept me. So as I grew up, I never had a set personality. Not until very recently have I ever really chosen something. So, you know, I chose a shapeshifter because for me, it's the best what represents me, because there are moments I feel strong, like my dragon. Like when I shapeshift to my dragon, I feel strong, I feel powerful. But then there are days I don't feel powerful. I feel small and tiny and scared. And so I'll be a mouse or something, you know, little. There are days I want to be quiet, so I'll be my kitsune, which wears a mask. And that mask represents me wanting to be silent, wanting to be away and closed in a little bit. And that way people will understand, okay, that's how she's feeling emotionally, because I'm not very good at expressing that outwardly.
There we go. Originally, I had gone with a mouse, but like, for the same reason, because they're quiet, small, out of the way, and adorable with the huge ears. But after going around the fandom for a little bit, I noticed that there are a lot more mice than rabbits. Of course, over time, people have proven me wrong in that aspect. I think another reason I chose a rabbit as my Sona was, normally they're not confrontational. They choose to run and hide, rather, and I myself don't like to get into confrontations if I don't have to, especially the emotional kind, because I've got enough emotional scars. Yay, suppressed trauma! I suppose one of the more trivial reasons I chose a rabbit is because they have the appearance of being small, demure, innocent, still adorable. I like to think I retain that on the outside as well, because on the inside, well, I'm just actually pathetic and a coward.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
Stop it.
You stop it.
You stop.
You stop. One last little detail about my Sona is the fact that he wears a plague doctor's outfit, because it could give the impression that he's also not very approachable, probably cold, but it also could pique people's curiosity, and it could make them inquire about it. To which I would answer, I just think it looks freaking cool. What can I say? I don't have any other reasoning behind it. It just looks so swagtastical.
One last thing about my Fursona is I have two main forms that I take when just hanging out, and these are the ones that I feel the most connected to, and that is my cobra and my wolf bear. They make me feel more like me. Like, you will get the most best representation of who I am with those two. One other thing, this is my final note on it, my Fursona, is her color scheme never changes. She has very similar, if not the same color scheme on each change she takes. So my accents, my markings, if you pay attention to the way my markings are, they never change throughout. I might add some little details here and there, depending if it's a snake, depending if it's a reptile or not, a fur, a more furry kind of character or not. Most everything will stay the same except some little details, but other than that, most accents, everything is the same with my Fursona. So it's a lot easier for people to see me because all they have to look for is a black and white, whatever creature with the exact same markings I always have throughout.
And the green color scheme as well.
Yes, I did say. Did I say that?
Did you say that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Oh, well,
someone's
now you know.
Discording me. Anyway.
So, wait, how did I even forget that I have green on me? My colors are black, white with
That's
green
like your
accents.
favorite color.
Like, it's my favorite color. I'm such an, you know what?
You're
I'm done.
something.
I'm done.
You are definitely something.
Continue. It's your turn now.
Why did you force me to
Your
marry
turn.
you? My
What?
turn.
I didn't force you.
No, there's no more info.
Okay, go.
There's literally no more info. But anyway, thanks for having us. Thanks for letting us participate.
Yes.
And I will go and cry in a corner now.
Have a good one, guys. Love you. Ta-ta.
Well, thank you for that audio clip.
Mm-hmm.
That was great,
Yes.
guys. We
As
appreciate you
much as-
sending that in.
You were freaking out in the chat. Thank you anyway.
How did I forget I had green?
So relatable. I also forget I have green on sometimes.
Whatever. You're great.
You probably have the easiest color scheme ever, Charlie.
It's true.
But no, I like.
Do you ever have to tell an artist? Do you ever have to be like, it's not that color of gray, it's this
It's
color
this
of
color."
gray?
Are there really 50 shades, Charlie?
That's for the AD
Ooh.
account to know, and then for you to never find out.
No, I like.
To find out, join our Patreon.
Oh, no!
Ooh.
Ooh, yes.
Oh,
Charlie, the OnlyFans edition.
no!
The only hat.
Charlie
only
10
hat.
inch.
No, I like the thought pattern with Sage of, you know, you change who you are based, on who you're around, which, is something I very much relate to with my growing up. But ultimately, even though you change your sonas or you can change your character, ultimately how you look is still you, because your markings are the consistent and the colors are the consistent. So even when you have to adapt to those changes, it's still you, which I think is kind of a really fun way to play with how you represent yourself and your personas, and that I think that's a very fun way to look at it. Also, Eli, I do have to agree that there's not a lot of bunnies out there. My partner, my wife, is also a bunny.
My wife.
And my wife, I know I always feel silly saying it, but she is my wife.
My wife.
But she is a bunny, and every time, especially when we go to cons and things, her goal is to go around and to find any kind of bunny merchandise to see if she can find anything, because it can be very difficult.
Except during Easter time.
Except, well, yeah, but then it's all like religious.
I have a bunny.
You have a
Sona.
bunny?
I have a bunny, Sona.
Oh,
He came before K-Dub.
I think I know which one you mean. I may have a picture of that suit.
Probably. That's the second suit. I made my coyote suit, and then I made my bunny suit, and I made the bunny suit in a week.
Wow.
I believe that fursuit was the first fursuit that I ever wore because you allowed me to wear it.
The bunny?
Yeah. I remember you
I don't
because
remember
the
that.
bunny had you made it out of like sunglass lenses or something like that.
Yeah, they had lens eyes.
And they would fog up.
I think, honestly, looking at that, I think the picture I have of that suit is with Rue in that suit.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember letting her wear it, but
It'd be
Let's see.
very, very short and it would look very sloppy.
it would look all messed up. Yeah.
Now I have to peruse my pictures.
Oh man, I really would love to find a picture of when I was your old version of you. So it was like that time when we went fursuiting and it was like the small click and then the tall click. It was hilarious.
It was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, does anyone else have anything they'd like to add in regards to
No,
The audio?
I appreciate the two of them sending that in. We always love audio, so let me tell you, if you guys have time, please send us audio clips. Otherwise, you get more things like Colorado and Wichita, Kansas, and or Wisconsin, Texas. Sorry, I said it correctly.
Wichita, Kansas is our thing.
When you try to do it wrong, but you do it right anyway.
But you do it right, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
Those things aren't real. Like Santa and the Tooth Fairy and the Queen of England.
The Queen of England isn't real?
Not anymore.
There is no Queen of England. There is no Tooth Fairy.
There's no
Oh,
Queen of
no.
England. That joke didn't age well, did it?
Does anything age well
No.
other than alcohol? Okay.
Certainly
Well.
not Rue.
Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Explain yourself. Explain this joke that you are trying to do. Explain.
Well,
Well,
let's just,
anyways.
Well,
way to go, guys.
yeah, almost killed it, guys. That's okay.
Santa's real. Gosh.
Yeah.
Santa is real. He comes to my house all the time. Oh wait, that might be
No.
just Barnaby.
Once a year.
Oh,
Well, I know.
Santa's definitely real when you go to a park and you see a leather daddy Santa. Yes, especially for Barnaby, our friend Barnaby. Yeah,
loves
Santa is very real at that moment. Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing else I wanted to talk on, but I think we did kind of cover it a little bit already, was basically why do fursonas change? Why do fursonas change over time through the years? Mine, how do they change is also a thing as well, other than just a species change. Like for me, I basically had a gender change of my fursona. So for those who don't know, which I think most people who listen to the show might know, but for those who don't know, I am transgender. I am female to male. So when I first joined the fandom, even though anytime I was making characters for like video games or other things, I always chose the male characters. And I feel like, thinking back, that might have been a hint, guys. That there was something there. But when I first joined the fandom, I was like, oh, well, I want the fursona to represent me, to be part of me. I was like, well, I'm gonna make the fursona female because that's what I am. But as the years went, I don't want to be female no more. And so before I did anything else in real life, I changed my fursona. So that was kind of a big change. It was that, and then I changed my Sona name and a whole bunch of other things. And it's just one of those things that as we change as people, our fursonas can change. As we go through life, our fursonas can change to match those things as we change. So I'm just kind of curious, other than like I said, we've kind of talked on some of the species changes, especially with Voss. I think he's the one that's probably had the most change in species over the years.
An evolution, some might say.
Yeah, like what are some ways that your fursonas changed, and maybe was there a particular reason as to why they changed?
Well, other than the ones given about just communities and changing and my own feeling towards things, if it was just like design-wise, Some things like early on, I didn't really have many markings or anything, and then when I got commissions, an artist would just draw something, and it wasn't part of my character, and I would be like, yeah, I like that, keep it, and then it just
Yeah.
kind of would morph from there. I would keep going and change things. Now, it never really changed, but my glasses have always been there, though they change styles depending on kind of what I actually am wearing at the time. And
That's
then
fair.
only in, I can't really say because it's almost always been consistent through every character, everything is, the sex has always been the same.
Sex.
Yay!
Garlic bread.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Sex. Of course,
Garlic
he pays
bread.
attention at sex.
Yeah, it's always been the same. I've always been intersex, every character, from beginning to end. That's never changed. So
That's
it's
cool. I don't-
the only thing that's changed is maybe the markings slightly, depending on the character, and then the species itself over the years.
Yeah, and I do feel like the species, can affect how you decide on markings, because some markings that would work well for one species may not look so good on another.
Yeah, gray
Yeah.
looks pretty good on a porpoise, but on a dog?
Wait a minute.
No.
Nah.
Are we saying that after all these changes in colors, Charlie's gonna get Technicolor?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Red, yellow, green, red, blue, 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 and purple, and yellow, and red, red.
Red. Wait, what's happening with all the colors? Red, blue, green, red, purple, whatever
We need a
happened to just
Technicolor version of
plain old
Charlie
lavender
now.
blue
Yes.
dilly 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 dilly.
Dilly.
Silly.
Ah,
That's how you know we're a bunch of freaks for old Disney.
So Charlie,
Yes.
the Mutt has
Got it
kind
going
of
on.
been, yes. Other than that, did you have any iterations before the Mutt, or was he kind of where it all began for you?
Honestly, I always find it so funny when conversations come up with of people saying, "Oh yeah, this is my first persona. I did this design, and then I just kind of grew away from it. So I did this and that and these." And I just sit there with nailing it the first time like a proud champion. I
Like
will
a
send
pro.
an image to our chat here, and maybe if there's a way to emerge it onto the stream. This is the first concept I ever drew of Charlie ever, and I drew everything. I did a lot of references, stole a lot of things, but I just tried to make it um, my own. I guess there's a Discord for that. I guess I could put it in the Discord. But anywho's, I don't know where to send this. But this is, I have a drawing where I first drew Charlie. Is just, I can't give you any more seconds. I'm stalling already.
Give me a few more. I'm trying. Okay.
Okay. There we go.
Wah.
Looks like
Anywho,
Tony Stark's dad.
Honestly, though, it does. But, so, I kind of I think I nailed it the first time. I didn't really change too much. I do have other characters like a pink German Shepherd, who's a flirty little character. I have deers, who are my characters I hold dearly in the other naughtier side of the world. I
Okay,
have
chat. Here you
Tutor
go.
Tunes. Oh, here it comes. I want to see my
There you
little
go.
boy. Here he comes. Yeah, look at that man. I drew all of that. The ears, the eyes, the mustache. It's completely off kilter. The mouth, the suit with the over-the-top dramatic shoulder pads that were kind of very villain-like now that I look at it.
I love it.
I don't know where I was going with that. And the hand is disgusting. I hate that hand. It's
No one can draw hands, and if they say they can, they're a liar.
The
They're
super
a
pointy shoulders
fraud.
just say villain.
Exactly. Well, so that's where the name comes from, is play off the word charlatan, because I was gonna make him a con salesman, like a snake oil salesman, but I realize every character I make, including D&D and RPGs and every other kind of game I have, I do that every time. So I go, well, I should probably stop.
But why
but-
stop? What's going well?
It's don't fix it. Don't need to fix it if it ain't broken. So just
Yep.
keep going. But no, yeah, I've had Chuck go pretty much the exact same way. I will say, jumping onto Voss's thing about um, the weird artists would add interpretations on Charlie's first ever ref sheet. They had created. Some people have seen him get drawn with, or they looked at his old ref sheet and they saw that he had these weird little markings on the sides of his wrists, and they thought that was a ring that he had, like a part of an element of him. So they would incorporate that, and that was just because Crikey just didn't fill it in all the way. So now there's a ring sometimes on old Charlie art around his wrists, and so I had to, when I updated the ref to Maltyashka Swede, we got rid of that detail. But it does sometimes flourish coming through. So if I send people the old ref for funsies, they'll draw that still, and I go, I find that so fascinating how artists can see those little details and go, that's probably important. And then I go,
Yeah.
no, that was a fluke, but now it is important, I guess.
Yeah. And that is something where it's like you get the refs, and sometimes the interpretation from the artist is not what you expect, and whether that's good or bad kind of depends. But
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
always interesting to see how they
it can get
change
pretty
those.
wild because my fox originally was supposed to be kind of like an autumn yellow,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I got the suit was like, I don't really have that, but I've got the super awesome orange that I think you'd really like. And I was like, it looks good. I'll try it.
Yeah, I like the orange on your
And
fox
then-
suit. I think
And
it's
then the orange
very
came
unique.
through, and it was so bright, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was originally supposed to be an autumn yellow, and that's gone because an artist kind of was like, I like this.
I like that. Rue, what about you? What have you made lots of changes to your Sona over the years, or has he basically stayed the same?
I mean, there's been some changes here and there. I mean, there has been some, there was at one point in time that Rue was like a kind of like a Aussie type thing.
Aussie.
And I know that I have the drawing like somewhere. It would take me a minute to find it. But it's
Crunchies around here somewhere.
yeah, but he quickly evolved into something different as time goes on. And Rue's age has changed. So that's something to talk a little bit about, is that my age has gotten younger. I have an older version of Rue, and then I have a younger version of Rue, and just depending on the situation and the time and what's going on, and my age kind of changes a little bit just depending on what's going on. But yeah, so in that way, that's something that has changed over the years for me. I've just gotten younger as time has gone on.
Isn't that
I'm
just
just
the thing, though? You get older, and you're like, I don't want to be old.
So, as many of you know, I'm a kid fur, and so that's what I prefer, is to be basically a kid. So it's fun. I enjoy it.
Are you a Toys R Us kid?
I am a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. I live in Neverland.
We don't talk about my old job, okay? We don't talk about that. That place is dead. We don't bring it up. Jeffrey's
Wait.
dead. He's been assassinated. We don't bring it up.
No, you used to
Jeffrey's
work.
dead.
You used to work there.
Yeah, I was a supervisor. I still have my old supervisor and employee shirts. I worked at the Sugar House store. It was the biggest one because it had a basement, and it was
Ooh.
huge. On the last week of it, we powered the Power Wheels up and played Mario Kart down in the empty, abandoned basement, all between the shelves. We didn't have to clean up the darts either because it was just all going to be swept up and thrown away.
Man, that must have been a huge impact on you guys
It was
during that time.
It was. I still miss
It
the
was-
Art Zone fortress walls. Those were so cool.
So what you
I
need
loved
to
it.
do
I love to
is-
just go in there and walk around. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what you need to do, Charlie, is wear your employee vest over your suit.
Yeah, I hope the shirt could fit. It's fit for me, and Charlie's fluffy, so
It's
it gon'
fluffy.
it gonna be kind of tight. But I could.
But
maybe the other suit. The other suit's more slim. Probably would have.
what? Yeah, as I say, Click. Did you get a chance to talk about any changes?
Changes.
Time to
Kinda.
face the strange. Because I know for you, the big one.
I don't really
recently has
change
been-
much though. I just make up new characters.
Yeah, that too. We kind of keep the same and then just be like, I want to play with something new.
Why adjust when you can just throw it in the trash and be a whole new you?
But I don't throw anything in the trash, so I just have them all.
Our house is a testament to that.
Oh. Come on, boss.
Yeah.
You can't give us just that.
What?
We need details.
Our house is a disaster because he refuses to throw things out?
Oh, I always thought it was something fun Fursona related.
No, it's a hoarding problem. It's a real medical problem.
That's not
I'm
true.
drowning in here. Help me. Someone
don't
help.
blast
I
me.
need help.
I might need that someday. It'll be useful.
Yes. I need this serial cable for something that I don't even have anymore.
Oh, I got a whole drawer full of them.
I mean, I have my box of old cables. I've got an old iPod to auxiliary cable.
I don't have any of those. I don't have anything Apple in this house.
Yeah, and then I've got, let's see, what else? Oh, so many things. Anyway, off topic, as we do.
Yeah.
Well, now,
We don't have any
is the-
suck products.
Yeah,
Wait,
I like
Are-
the old iPods.
are you talking bad about iPhone and Apple? I am an Apple user through and through. My significant other left for Android, and he could not last. He had
I
to
know.
come back, and now
Yes.
he's an Apple user again.
You're such a big Apple fanboy. That's why you ditched your MacBook and now you have a PC.
Okay, you're right there. 100%. I do have a PC because let me tell you, Apple sucks when it comes to gaming. 100%.
Yeah, if you want to be a gamer, you basically need to buy a $3,000 Mac Pro
See?
because it's the only thing left that's Intel.
We tried that and it didn't work.
Oh, well, never mind then. Okay.
Yeah. We went through that, and he wanted another Apple, and it was going to cost 3 times as much as just getting a desktop.
Yep.
So, we have a question actually from the chat that I'll
Oh.
throw in. Question for you all. Have you ever had an artist add a little detail or something that wasn't originally part of your character that you decided to keep as part of it? Yes, 100%.
Well, yeah,
I
that's what
didn't-
Boss was talking about.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, remember my whole yellow autumn fox is no longer yellow or
I was
autumn?
gonna say. I think we
He
did
wasn't
answer that,
listening.
Oh.
but if
Until we
uh,
said suck products.
for whoever was listening, maybe just go back like 10 minutes in the podcast recording, and you'll get that answer. Unless you asked that before that, and then we're just dumb and just barely read it. In which case, my bad.
Fox is
Well-
going fox.
Ah, my bad.
Then I'm just going to add this. I'm going to say, yeah, my cape. There you go.
True.
Really?
Yeah, my cape never really was a thing that I added. It just happened. Like an artist drew him with a cape, and like it's not like I'm like, I love superheroes. Yay! I want, and now I have a cape with everything because he looks cute with a cape.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, I have one more thing from the For Science book that I think is interesting. So this is talking about the Fursona being able to fulfill specific functions. So what they've got on here is things that, the Fursona helps them do or be. So they've got helps me meet people I couldn't have met otherwise, lets me try out a different way of being, inspires me to act more kindly or compassionately towards others, allows me to become greater and better than myself, helps me accept myself as who I am, lets people see the real me, inspires me to be more assertive in my life, often helps me through difficult times in my life, and inspires people to treat me more kindly. So I thought, there's a few of those that I can definitely relate to. I mean, I wouldn't have met any of these people otherwise, without being in the fandom and starting down that road. Also, the trying out a different way of being. I mean, I was able to play with, how I presented myself and have people see me as that and actually help me in my own personal journey and in my transition and things like that. So there's definitely a few of those on there that I can very much relate to. Is there anything you guys have that your Sona has particularly helped you with or helps you along?
Yes, I'll start out. So my Fursona is, for me, it's me, and it's the true form of me, and it's the person that I want to be. And so, I guess, like, I see Rue as kind, always wanting to help, and help his friends, help people around him. One of the pictures of when I was, trying to figure out, what persona I was going to have. I saw this little picture of this little tiny fox that was giving this older woman like picking up vegetables or something. And I think it was like his mom or something like that. And I'm like, that is the embodiment of what I want to be. And so that's why I always, say Rue's innocent. It's more than just that. I know I play on things and stuff like that, but I like that mentality of just kindness and willingness to help people, and so for myself, when I look at Rue, I look at who I want to be, and so there is symbolism for myself that way.
Even with your little horns?
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't talk about those little horns. I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't talk about.
Rue's horns.
Well, that's for Lucifer, and that's a whole other side of me, because just as much as I like to help and be good and be there for people, I definitely have that other opposite side where sometimes I just want to burn everything down.
Oh dear.
Sorry. All right, next person.
Click just shakes his head. No. Anyone else?
I don't
would like
know.
to-
All mine gets me is a bunch of half-ass jokes.
Well, one of them gets you. Half of you gets you a half-ass joke. What about you guys, Voss and Charlie? Does your persona fulfill anything in particular?
It fulfills my slot in the online presence of the furry fandom, and people can associate the character to me, which is always fun to hear when people see it and then they see me. They go, "Wow, you look just like your persona," and I go, "Yeah, because it's based off of me, so I would hope so." Otherwise, it
Because
looks
he's
silly to
me and
leave
I am
me,
him.
But
And
be
we
fair,
are we.
I mean,
the mustache is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
It really is.
yeah, no, true. Honestly, he's something that I would rather be. A 3-foot toon that's a goofy little menace that could just live forever and only be afraid by paint thinner versus, the other things reality throws at you.
Oh no, not dip.
Wow,
What about
nothing.
you?
You know
Voss?
what?
No
You know
one?
what's sad? You know what's sad? I think a lot of people don't understand that reference, but I do. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I love that.
Wow.
Ah,
Not a
but
single
it-
chuckle. I hate you all.
Ah, what? I
Womp
was
womp.
laughing.
not loud enough, obviously.
Apparently.
We need a mic boost voice.
God.
Always. What about you, Voss? Anything else?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty much the same with everyone. It's just Porpoise is me, I am Porpoise, and we have a lot of problems and benefits that we all share, and it's who I'd like to be and what I see myself as, and has a great amount of escapism because I can just be my Porpoise and do whatever I want
With Porpoise.
with Porpoise.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I think that about wraps it up. I don't know if there's anything else we could cover, unless anyone has any.
If
final
anyone has
thought.
anyone.
If anyone has anyone and anyone and anyone.
If
If anyone has any final thoughts they would like to add, before we wrap
Sure.
up here.
I think that overall, when building your persona, you know,
Sure.
take time. What?
Nothing.
So
Murder.
just take
What?
time with it and, you know, just try your very best to,
Try
you know,
everything.
you can try everything. You can try new things if you need to. It's okay. You don't have to be just one thing. You don't have to be like Rue, where he chooses one thing and stays it the whole entire time. No, even my character has had changes as time has gone on. So, you know, you try it out. And to be honest with you, I wasn't always Rue. There was one character that I was for a day. Like I was a wolf, and I decided to go by the name of Kiba, and it lasted one day because I learned how many Kibas that there were out there, with wolves and stuff like that. And I'm like, nope, that's not what I am. And yeah. Second Life also really helped me to like thresh out, you know, find my persona. And you know, if you need to, a great way to find a lot of like try out a bunch of different personas is you can always hop on to VR chat, and there's tons and tons of
This
things
is
that
another
you can
sponsor
try
for
out.
Rue to play VR
Just
chat.
thank God you're
Yay!
terrible.
What?
Gotta squeeze it in every time.
Hey,
Take a sip if you hear Rue talk about VR chat.
We would all be
Yay!
toasted right now.
anywho, there you go. That's my final thought.
There you go. It's be that 6-foot sparkle dog if you want to be. Anyone else like to add anything in?
If you're
Uh,
going to get wings, you better have a big wallet because artists will charge out the wazoo for wings. So just have that in mind. But also, consider grayscale if you're on a budget. You can get a sketch and it's always full color, baby.
Well, I would say that going along with that, it's feel free, understand that you may not be the same, and that's always changing for everyone. Don't feel bad if you go through multiple sonas before you settle on something that's right. And or if if it's just you, you can be basic like Rue.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Inspire to be like Rue. Inspire to be like me.
You mean aspire?
Basic.
I'm just like you, you're just like me.
Aspire.
Aspire. All right. Well, as always, thank you everybody who joined us for the stream today. We really appreciate y'all taking the time to come listen to us ramble. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. The episode will be
Perspire to be like Rue.
Perspire. Nice. The episode will be posted as a regular podcast episode this week for those who didn't make it. But as always, we appreciate you coming, and you can always find us on our site at forwhatitsworth.com. We do have our social accounts on X, formerly known as Twitter, because that's what everybody says. Twitter, Blue Sky, Mastodon, Facebook. We're just For What It's Worth on all of those. If you want to join the Telegram channel and chat with other folks who listen to the show and just have a nice little place to hang out and chat with people, feel free to reach out to us. Reach out to Rue on Telegram. He's at Wine Red Fox, and he can get you added in. You can also always send us emails about the show if you have any questions, if you have any comments about past episodes or other things. You can reach us at cast@forwhatitsworth. We do also have individual emails, so you could say Rue at For What It's Worth or Click at For What It's Worth. So if you have a particular question for somebody in particular, feel free to do so. We do also have our SpeakPipe, which allows you to send us short audio clips. I think they're like a minute. Is that? I don't remember. They're not very long. But you can send us an audio file over that. Or if you prefer, you could always record one yourself and just email it to us. We love to get those as well. With the audio files, we do also love to get idents, which are something that's required for us to do. That's basically when you hear, in the middle of shows or at the beginning of shows, when they're saying, you're listening to whatever. So like, you're listening to For What It's Worth. We love getting things like that from the listeners just to kind of break it up a little bit, and then people don't have to keep listening to us all the time. And then lastly, we don't really do any kind of marketing or advertising for the show. It's all just word of mouth. So tell your friends, share it in your groups. If someone's coming to you saying, hey, I want to know about this furry thing, it's a great way to give them a few hours to spend their time. Well, more than a few. But as always, everything's just word of mouth and what people like to share. So our next episode is going to be a nostalgia trip. And I believe we may also be planning on live streaming that one. We'll let you know once we have that figured out. So keep an eye on the socials because we'll post all that information. But yeah, we're going to be talking about nostalgia and I think just some furry nostalgia and things like that. So keep those ideas in mind. Is there anything I missed, you guys?
No, you did an amazing job. Thank you to
Alright.
Sammy for putting this episode together, and thank you to Voss for providing all the technical support. And then thank you, Click, for throwing me under the bus several times throughout the whole entire episode.
Gotta keep you humble.
Yeah, and then, of course, Charlie, with your absolute delightful witty humor.
I am the court jester, after
That
all.
is why he is a witty gentleman.
It is true.
All right. Well, this has been Sammy.
This has been Rue.
Click.
And Voss.
And I'm Charlie.
And this has been
For what it's
what it's
worth.
worth.
Yay!
It's so
Ruse
You are
peppermints.
really mean to me. You guys. You guys always pick on me. Always.
Salty tears.
Hold on.